Well, you are not alone if you dislike your name or have maybe considered changing it.
Yep, and I spoke with the Washington Post's Andrew Van Dam about the most regretted baby names. Take a look. Hey, before you tell us what the most regretted baby names are, tell us how you figured this out. What did you look at to collect this data?
Well, our friend Sarah Fowler, who covers parenting and other issues at the Washington Post, mentioned that 30,000 people in the past 5 years have filed for name changes with Social Security. So we reached out to our friends at Social Security and asked what the most changed names of those 30,000 were.
Wow, okay, that is a really solid way to do that. So I gotta know, you have to tell me, what are the most regretted names?
Well, number one and number two are, and this is going to sound a little weird at first, but they are number one, Issac, Issac, and number two, Chole, Chole. Now, yes, that probably sounds ridiculous, but the most adopted names are Isaac and Chloe. So obviously, the first two are some pretty serious spelling errors on the old birth certificate.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. Yes, I was very confused for a second, but absolutely. So does it look like then some of these are just kind of errors that are being corrected?
Well, those are the first, the top two are, but beyond that, it's not quite the same sort of, parents have just been in labor for 15 hours and they can't spell type of issue. It's actually an issue of regret. The ones beyond that are names like Aiden or Sophia that happen to be falling in popularity just in the past 5 years when these names were being changed, and parents were tending to change away from like Aiden towards something that was a little bit more on trend, that was rising in popularity, like Sebastian.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I think there's something in here for parents, especially if you select a name, you kind of feel it out for a couple of months, and then you're just not about it. So this is an option available.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an official name change with the Social Security Administration, and you can correct your misspellings, you can correct your slight regrets, your perhaps not so trendy name decisions, and pick something either timeless like Michael, we see that adopted very often, or a little bit trendy like our old friend Sebastian.
Wow, it really seems like that one's growing in popularity. So you did also look at some of the most adopted names. Walk me through those.
So, of course, we do have our friends Isaac and Chloe, the correct spellings, but we also have names like Connor and Olivia, which is one of the most popular names for women right now in the entire country, and it's been rising really quickly, and it seems to have a little bit of staying power. So people are dropping the off-trend names and picking Olivia.
That is awesome. And hey, I do have a question for you here. So if you made a mistake, I have seen people do this. They just correct it in their lives, but not in legal paperwork. Why should you actually take that extra step?
Well, it can create immense headaches, like with our friend Chloe Tuckness in California we talked to, who her voter registration was under the name Chole. And obviously that's not going to work if you go in to the booth and show the idea of Chloe when you are registered as Chole. It's strongly recommended that you change that for legal reasons.
Of course, you need to do that.
And look, I'm like crying right now.
Yeah.
If your name is really Chole, I'm sorry.
Yeah. There were some common names, though,
Yeah.
that were like, that were trending downwards. So still interesting list nonetheless.